Hi, everyone. My name is Jolie DeMarco here, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about my new book. Hi, everyone. This is Jolie DeMarco here, and I'm here with LlewellynCon, and I'm so grateful to be here with all of you today. So, basically, I want to tell you a little bit about my new book. There's like a picture of the cover here, How to Meditate with Crystals. So, we all know kind of a little bit how to meditate, or we know that it's good for us and that we should all be doing it. However, a lot of us don't understand exactly the certain processes of it. So I kind of make it really simple, really easy, and there's some different things that you might not have known about how to meditate, especially with crystals, the little gems that amp us up really good. So I'm going to give you a little schooling on that today, if that's all right with you. Excuse me. Excuse me. So, first of all, I'd like to say that I am a metaphysical expert and I love to teach and share everything that I know metaphysically. And meditation is one of the things that we all should do, not only because it lowers our stress levels, and we could all use a little bit of that right now, it also is really good for healing our body because when we lower our stress levels, when we get more relaxed and our body just feels really good, our body can start healing itself. So we all have different issues in our life, and it could be small things to big things. So from physical ailments to maybe mentally the way that we think about things in our life that can make things hard or confusing. Some of us need to be a little bit more stable in our thoughts these days. And so meditation can help with that. So I like to say meditation is the best habit you can create because it is whenever, excuse me, everyone, it is whenever you forget about time. So if you think about it, oh my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. I have to take a little bit of water here. I was talking all day yesterday. So, meditation is whenever you forget about time. And so, when you think about it, sometimes when you're cooking a meal, doing something like that, and you don't even remember what time it is, that's part of meditation too. So, I take you on a journey through the book, basically showing you different purposes and 5 different methods of how to do meditation. So, it doesn't always have to be closed eyes and cross legged like in yoga. However, that is one method, but there are other methods. And so I want to tell you a little bit about each method first, and then we hit the process of how we do each one, and it kind of is really super fun. So basically, when we add the crystals, it just amps up our energy. So the 5 methods, basically, the first one is a non-active meditation. So that's basically, when you're connecting to your soul's energy, if you want to connect to yourself or your higher self. I give you different ways to do that. I actually have 33 different meditations in the book. There are 33 different practices that you can do for certain purposes. And so the first method, again, is non active. Okay. The second one is active awake meditation. So that's basically, if you want to think about it this way, you're slightly awake. An example I could give would be if you were connecting to your own energy. Now, the third method is physical activity. So, yes, you can meditate when you're actually doing physical activity. Some people, you hear of them running and they get the runner's high. Okay, so that's a good example too. But I like to do a walking meditation. And physical activity is great for all of us. And, if you're not like, the gym guru or anything, it doesn't matter. It's just about taking a little bit of self time. And it could be just, 10 minutes a day walking down the street and just connecting with something, thinking about the earth, thinking about how beautiful it is where you're walking, and then walking back and feeling gratitude. All of these methods that I'm talking about are raising your frequency, which is just making you happier and healthier. And when we get into the practice of that, it really helps you change your life. And that's why the book's called How to Meditate with Crystals, Simple Ways to Change Your Life. So let me get to number 4. Okay, so these are the 5 methods, and this is the 4th method. It's about mindful thoughts. So you can meditate and actually think about things. So I know a lot of people think that, meditation is supposed to be mindless. That's one method as well. But when you actually are noticing things, noticing your body, parts of your body, noticing, my best example, let's see, I would say the best example would be mala beads. If you had a malabine necklace, you can use it and count each bead. And as you're holding each bead, you would say something to yourself, something beautiful, anything that would raise your frequency, which means keeping yourself on a happier note or happier thoughts. And so you would go through the whole mala bead by bead, closing your eyes, taking deep breaths in and exhaling out. And as you're holding each bead, you would think and visualize of something beautiful in your life or something you have gratitude for. That's just one way. You can also use the malabines for manifesting and mindful thinking about what you're trying to manifest in your life. So those are other little hints that you can use to meditate, and that can make it really interesting for you because you never get bored meditating, especially when you try 33 different types of meditation. So I try to make it for everyone, and it's kind of cool if you take the journey going through the book and you actually do all the different 33 meditations. You'll see how your frequency adjusts and how your frequency changes your whole being, and your outlook of life in positive ways. So the fifth way, going back to the five methods, is meditation without thoughts. Okay, so this one's mindlessness. So this is like, for me, I like to daydream. It's when I kind of go out into space a little bit. So you can like set up your whole space and make it so you're actually kind of laying down, sitting up, whatever you feel more comfortable. But usually I would say at least sitting in a comfortable chair would be great for this type of meditation. It takes you kind of to like this abyss. So while we're meditating and you're learning these five different methods, you are also learning about purpose, right? So I always think about, like, when people ask me about meditation, I say, well, what do you want to meditate for? And it's interesting enough because a lot of people say, well, what do you mean? I didn't know I had to meditate for something. And I'm like, of course, why would you want to meditate besides lowering your stress and relaxing you? That's a great thing, obviously. But a lot of people think that's all that meditation is. And no, no, no. Oh my God, meditation can take you from one extreme to another in positive ways. So, for example, different purposes of meditation would be basically for self realization, for you to get more stable in your life, to be more grounded. That is one good reason. Okay. Another one would be if you had things to release in your life. Let's say you had some emotional issues or relationship issues. It would be good for you to release all of that through meditation. And in the book, I tell you step by step how to do that for each one of these purposes. Another really fun one, a lot of people like to do past life regressions to see if they had other, lifetimes on different dimensions. And so there's certain crystals that you can pair up with these actual meditations that I give you in the book. And it takes you to a whole another realm. And it's really fun too. I teach you how to journal as well in the book because as we're going through these processes, you're going to want to remember some of the stuff that you're, seeing, feeling, and sensing from meditation. It's using all of your senses when you're meditating, and that's how we can, connect with ourselves and or for these purposes. So back to the purposes. Now, there's ones to connect with like-minded people. So if you're looking for good people in your life, and maybe right now you don't have too many things going on, and you want to meet new people. So if you change your frequency to meet like-minded people, then you can adjust yourself in that way. When you do go out or you do meet people, your frequency is on a higher, happier note. And that level of frequency is what can take you to meet those people. So changing your life with meditation is great. I also like to talk about not just releasing negative energies with meditation. It is super strong when you want to meditate and release energy. Let's give you one example. So let's just say you had a fight with somebody, you had a disagreement or something in your family. Okay. And so, you might be bothered by it. Now, emotionally, it's starting to get to you and, making you upset, and you can't get it out of your thoughts. So, meditation, this is a great time for you to meditate because you can connect with those thoughts and then you can allow yourself to release them. So, in the book, I give you meditations that you can use with certain crystals. And one of the crystals that would help release is smoky quartz. So this is a beautiful smoky quartz point, a natural point. And you could hold this in your hand. You can also hold a clear quartz crystal at the same time. So you put one hand, one in each hand, or you can place them on the side of you or whatever you're doing your meditation in that location, as long as they're within arm's length. So that's arm's length of your body. That means that these crystals and their frequencies will work with your frequency to adjust and balance what you need or help you release what you need. So when you meditate with crystals, crystals are frequencies that adjust, balance, release with ours. And depending on what crystals you choose, is what's going to be the most important in using your crystals with your meditation, because you want to make sure that you're matching and syncing up, having synchronicities with your energy and your body and the purpose of what you need the meditation for, whether you want to release or you want to advance or you want to manifest. Okay, so different crystals will help you with these different purposes. So for releasing, you can use smoky quartz and clear quartz together. And in the book, I list everything step by step so you know exactly which crystals to hold for what purposes. Okay. Now, there's another really cool thing that I do in the book, and I love to tell people this because when I started meditating, I didn't realize, basically, like if you meditate on your own, you think it's so much harder, and it actually is easier. And guided meditations, ones that are voice guided, are very great too. However, some people need to hear somebody guide them to help them for that specific purpose. So in the book, I wrote out basically exactly what you would say. So if you get a recorder, you could use your, I tried not to tell you to use your phone only because you shouldn't have your phone near you so much because the negative EMFs given off by the phones can start, disrupting our energy and our frequency. However, if you use a old time tape recorder, they're kind of cool too. And when you use the old time tape recorder, you can actually record your voice saying verbatim what I have in the book for that specific purpose of that meditation. And so now you have it recorded. And if you're not comfortable with your voice, you can have a friend or somebody that you, feel comfortable with their tone and their voice and have them record it for you. So this way, when you are ready to meditate for that purpose, you click hit, and then you could hear a wonderful guiding voice that's going to help you and holding your crystals and just relaxing into that specific meditation. So that is super cool because I've never read a book, and that's why I created it in this book, where you can actually record your own voice or somebody else's voice for your actual guided meditation. So you don't need to do the recording, but just reading it can, guide and help you through the steps. But it's so simple that you don't even have to think about it, So it's not anything that you have to really think about. It's very simple is the best word I could say. It's not complicated whatsoever. So that's just a little hint that I like to show people with the meditation. So I also want to talk a little bit about frequency, because a lot of people kind of understand what it means, energy, frequency, all that kind of stuff. So first of all of us are made of energy, and everything in the universe has energy. Okay, so basically every crystal has its own unique frequency, and just like us as humans, we have our own unique frequency. And as humans, our frequency changes from moment to moment because of our thoughts and what we're thinking, what we're saying, and what we're feeling. All those things and everything that we're seeing affects us as a frequency, and so our environment. So if you feel that your frequency is a certain level during the day, let's just say you wake up and you're happy, and then maybe in the middle of the day you get a little bit upset or a little depressed over things, which is normal. We have stuff going on in our lives, and so when you do that, you can notice that in your body or the way that you're feeling that you need to be adjusted. Okay, so I call this the level of frequency. Like, what is your frequency? I always say to my students, what's your frequency today? What's your vibe? And so we want to establish what your vibe is at the beginning of the day. And our goal would be by the end of the day, okay, to raise our frequency even just 1 point. So my example would be to you is on a frequency right now. If you guys are listening, let's do this together. Right now, what are you feeling your frequency is on a level from 1 to 10? So 1 being pretty yucky, okay, and 10 being fabulous. So right now I'm kind of feeling like a 9 because I did a little meditation this morning, tried to set my space and, feel good about being on talking to you all today. So that's my frequency. And I got to admit, this morning it was a little low because I was, I get a little excited and I get and stuff before I talk. And so, my frequency this morning probably was around a 6, and then I raised it up. So that's a good thing. And so for you, let's identify. So, what are you feeling right now on a level of 1 to 10? Just take a moment, take a breath in with me, and exhale out. And just notice how you feel. And if you're feeling some sort of descriptive word, just say it out loud. I'm feeling happy. I feel great. Okay? Whatever it is to you. Okay? And now take that word or that feeling and try to give it a score from 1 to 10. Okay? And now, whatever it is, your goal by the end of the day is just to get it 1 point higher. That's it. It doesn't have to be, astronomically higher. 1 point higher is just proving to yourself that you can do this and you can change your frequency. And little by little is good. Now, another goal, if you want to take it a little bit further, so from a daily goal and finding what your frequency is going a little further and making a little journal that, like, let's say today my frequency was 5, and by the end of the day it was, a 7 or 8 or whatever it might be, and you write it down. And then the next day, you do it, the same thing. So it's not something you have to think about all day long. It's just at the beginning and the end, whatever you do in between is, your day. And over time, if you look over a whole week and you start noticing, wow, I'm starting to be a steady 7. This is cool. So whenever you get to basically a 7 to a 10 and you stay on that frequency above, that means that you have contained yourself to have this awesome frequency. So that means you are definitely a happier person here on earth. And you can spread that love, meaning spread your frequency, your high vibes, right, to other people. Because when you're happier, you attract other happier people, like-minded people. You also help other people out in that way too. So people aspire to be on that frequency with you. And so it's a win-win for everyone. And it's something really cool and easy to do. So maybe ask your friends today, what's your vibe on a scale of 1 to 10, and see what they tell you, and give them a little note on how they can raise their frequency by the end of the day. Now, there's tools that we can use to raise our frequency. Of course, my number one tool is going to say meditation with crystals. And so that would be my number one tool. So, of course, I'm going to grab a crystal, like I have one here called fluorite. It's a little, well, you can see the colors in it, but fluorite comes in different colors, and it also has a combination of colors together. This is a fluorite generator point, and they call it a generator point because obviously it's flat on the ends and a point on the top. Okay, so it generates more energy because of the different cuts on the top of the crystal, and it draws in more energy from the shape. Okay, so fluorite is a great crystal for physical healing, emotional healing, mental healing, and spiritual healing, especially when it has all the colors in the fluorite. So this is a great crystal to meditate with, especially if you're trying to heal your physical body or assisting yourself in healing your physical body by using your mind and your thoughts. And so you can have a fluorite crystal by your side. Excuse me, you could always use a crystal quartz. This is just a little mini crystal quartz generator. Okay, and you could have both of these by your side in your space of meditating. And the quartz is going to amplify the energy of any other crystal. Okay, so it's amplifying my fluorite crystal. And together, they're a great healing team. And so if there was something in my body that I needed healing physically, for example, I have my knee is not so great sometimes. So I always work on healing the mobility of my knees and basically how they work. So what I would do is I close my eyes, I set my intention that I'm specifically for my purpose is to, my intention is to help assist my body heal whatever is needed in my physical body for my knee to be perfectly well and fine. And with that, I visualize, I close my eyes, I take some breaths in and out, I have the crystals by my side, I relax myself as much as I can, and I think about myself running, I see myself jumping, I see myself using my knee, any part of my body that I'm wanting to assist myself in healing through my thoughts and through my energy. Okay, so that's another way that you can use crystals and meditation together is for healing. And so if it's something a little more emotional or mental, the way that you think about things would be mental. So sometimes, we all get caught up in our lives and we don't think about things as nice as we should. And so not only maybe do we need a release, but we also just need to kind of change that thought pattern. So if you want to change your thought pattern mentally of how you're thinking about maybe something that you have to do every day, like get up and go to work, obviously you should love your job, but if you don't, in the meantime, try to set your mental mindset to be different about that job and think about how many people maybe you're helping that day. Maybe don't make it so about me, me, me. Make it about like how it's helping the universe and visualize how it's helping people, not only yourself. And so that can also help you change and switch your frequency as well. So there's lots of great ways that you can use crystal energies, and you could use the power of your mind to change your frequency. Okay, so so basically, what you would learn in the book. I'm just gonna like recap a little bit here. Is that you would first learn how meditation is the best habit you could create. It lowers your stress. It can help your body assist in healing itself, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual. You can use it to go to a beautiful abyss. You can take mind travels. You can take journeys. You could help release. You could advance yourself. You could manifest. And really, there's such a good array, especially with people asking me, like, when I meditate, how do I connect? And so it's interesting because some people know that there is different purposes to meditate with. And whether you're a novice or, very seasoned in meditation, there's so many that I have in the book that, you would just love to try maybe a different way if it's a different spin, if you've, pretty seasoned on things. And if you're a novice, I take you from, A to Z. So it's really a great experience. But so when you're thinking about that and somebody says, can I connect? How can I connect when I meditate? Well, first of all, I'm going to say, well, what is your purpose? And are you connecting because you want to get clarity on something in your life, like a specific question? Do you want to connect with a spirit that has passed over into the light? That means somebody that is a loved one that was once on earth, maybe somebody in your family or grandfather or somebody like that, that you would like to try to connect or feel or speak or see visual energy with, or angels, deities, or gods or goddesses, all of that. So absolutely, I say, yes, you can. So once you realize who you want to connect with, then we basically can say our intention. My purpose here is to connect with Archangel Michael. Okay. And so I would ask Archangel Michael to please come through as I'm setting my intention in my beautiful space of meditation, which usually would be outside near a tree or inside my crystal room. Okay. So whatever it is for you would be your Zen space, wherever you feel comfortable, wherever you feel like nobody's going to come in on you. It's just yours. Okay. And so basically you would sit in your space, set that intention. Archangel Michael, would you please come through and help me in with assistance of this question that I have? And then I would say the specific question or whatever I'm thinking of. Okay. And you could say it out loud or you could say it in your mind. And it doesn't matter. The frequency's there so they can hear you. And with that, you would just sit and notice your body, maybe notice your breath by taking breaths in and out. And anything that you receive, you would start writing on a piece of paper if you had one near you, okay, and just try to think and feel and sense anything that is coming your way. And let that be your answer or give you clarity. And sometimes later on, after our meditation and we do our closing, and I give gratitude to Archangel Michael or whoever your visitor is, okay. And then even later on through the day, sometimes you might get some messages or feelings or some epiphanies, okay? Or like, why is this popping into my head? Well, you just got answered. So all these ways are just helping you relax more. And when we're more relaxed, that's when we are our best and we're on a higher frequency. And when I say high frequency too, a lot of people say, well, high frequency means I have to be spazzed out and blah, 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 like crazy. And I'm like, no, that's not what high frequency means. High frequency just means that you're happier, your thoughts are good, you're in a good space, feeling good about yourself right now. Kind of like a self love or unconditional love feeling. And that is what high frequency is. And if you think about it as a whole, all of us here on earth and beyond, the big goal here is for all of us to be happy, healthier, and safe, right? And if all of us put our energy into being on this high frequency, which is happier, right? Then that means if I'm happier, the people I'm around are going to be happier because I'm going to be nicer to them. I'm not going to be mean, and vice versa, hopefully. And then everybody's on this high, beautiful frequency. And our world affects all other worlds, if you believe in that. And I do. And, I believe there's different dimensions. There's so much out there beyond just our earth here and our beautiful, beautiful earth. I love earth. And, but sometimes when you meditate, you can visit these other places and escape a little bit and just try a different place in your minds. And it is just so incredible that we're able to do this. And all you have to do is tap in very simply using meditation and crystals, just amping up that energy. So these are just tools to help us, made from Mother Earth. And she's allowing us to use these beautiful, beautiful crystals to help ourselves, whether it's healing, just feeling and sensing things in our life and just connecting more. They're actual, really, little, oh gosh, I can't even think of the word right now. But basically, these frequencies are connecting us to those beyond. And it's like our little cell phone. I always think of quartz. Clear quartz to me is like a little cell phone connection. Actually, back in the day, maybe not my day, I don't want to date myself, but yeah, sort of. Anyway, crystal quartz were used in radios. That's how radios had transmission. I mean, we still have, and they're made of microchips now and stuff in our computers. So, I mean, basically, these are frequencies that connect us to something or someone or another energy. And so that's why they're called generator quartz. Okay, quartz is for clarity, quartz is for clear hearing, amplifying energy. And a quartz, basically is a little cell phone. And, we're using our, telepathic energy to connect, and we're using the crystal to bring us on a higher frequency and for clarity and to connect to whoever we're trying to connect with, like Archangel Michael or, one of my friends that have passed. And it's just like in a little adapter. Okay. So crystal quartz is a really great one for everyone to have. And to meditate with these is wonderful. You'll feel the difference. So meditating alone without crystals is great, but when you try it with crystals for the right purpose and the right intent, and you connect and they synchronize together, you'll see a huge difference in the frequency that you'll be able to receive messages more, receive feelings and visuals. A lot of people just, connect with maybe slight energy shifts, and all of it is good. So clear quartz. Okay. So I want to actually bring up a couple other things that people ask me a lot about meditation, because I know for some they get a little confused. So remember, we said that we have different purposes that you can use meditation for, and then you would always set your intention. We talked about frequency and how frequency can be changed, and your frequency changes from moment to moment. Like if I think of something sad, of course my frequency is going to go a little lower. If I think of something happy, it's going to go higher. So throughout the day we get a little want energy, and overall our goal is to try to stay on a nice 7 or above. So in the meantime, even if we're on a 2 and we're having a 2 day, a number 2 poopy day, Um, we want to make sure that, we can raise that frequency easily. And some people say to me, if I'm depressed, how do I meditate? Because don't you have to be on high frequency, or don't you have to be happier before you meditate? And I say, no, not really, because if the whole purpose of meditation is to raise our frequency, so it doesn't matter what level you start at, it's just about getting it better. And so let's just say, you're having a really bad time and you've been depressed for a while, and you're the number one person that needs to be meditating. And so basically, what you can start out is let's find your level of contentment. And in the book, I talk about let's finding that and how we do that. And so there's a short little process of you just writing, if you're honest with yourself and you write it out, about your level of contentment currently and what your goals might be to change that. We can kind of start you there, and then we bring you on this, energy level that takes you higher, higher, and higher. And so meditating when you are a little bit depressed is the best thing that you can do. So I hope you join me and look for the book, How to Meditate with Crystals. And thank you so much. Gratitude and love.